Oh, we have audio on. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Hope we're all doing good once again today. Another one of those days where the volume of the game seems really loud, but shouldn't be too big of a deal. Some good news for you all as well. Today I finished recording chapter 27, which is the final chapter of Ghosts of Ascalon. So, basically, what I'm now going to be doing with that is pooling together all the chapters together. I essentially have lots of different files that is a chapter in each one, and I'm gonna like find a way to clean them up, sort that out, and yeah, that project is pretty much done now. So the book was actually a bit longer than I thought it was, but also ends extremely abruptly, so it's kind of weird, honestly. I like the book, but it does have a bit of a glaring problem at the end. I'll probably do some kind of like review video or something on it going forwards. But yeah, that's what I spent a good amount of today rounding out. You can see Darg's in chat. Darg, I haven't got to see your latest and greatest. Hopefully it's all good. I should hopefully be able to respond to you after the stream is over on that stuff. I was thinking, what if Jormag is actually a good guy, but it's Jormag's torment that is corrupting people and turning Tyrians to ice food? Yeah, I've been wondering that as well, whether it's like actually a half and half thing again, a bit like Kralkatorrik, you know? Where we were... Oh, wait, I already did Lunar New Year today. I already did it. I did it earlier. Yeah, I've been wondering that, whether it's like part of Jormag really does tire of the cycle and another part of Jormag doesn't. And in this instance, what we do is we kill just the torment. We don't kill anything else, it's just the torment. But the idea, I think, with the Kralkatorrik thing was because he'd absorbed so many like bandwidths of magic, if you will. But surely Jormag's in a similar situation, maybe Primordus, not sure. Oh, we had a mail about joining the guild, I'll do that later. So yeah, I have been cleaning my inventory. Now, I know this still looks like a mess, but it is a great deal better than it was. And particularly when I hit compact, you'll see I've actually saved a lot of slots. The thing about my inventory right now is all of this that you're looking at is that none of it's junk items, none of it's depositable items. It's all just stuff that I have to manually go through. It's not even trading postable items, a lot of these. So yeah. Now, I did want to know if the Lucky Rat... Usually there's a higher tier of backpack that they do, and I need to be sure that I've got that before this festival leaves. So I'm just wikiing that now. Yeah, there is such a thing as the Lucky Great Rat Lantern. And we can actually make the Lucky Boar Lantern as well. So we have to get that out of the Mystic Forge, I think. So we're going to go do a Mystic Forge recipe today. It's the end of January. January has been a really long month for me, but happily so. I really feel like I've kicked up 2020 in such a solid way. Oh, mind you, I could just buy on the TP. I will use the TP to verify that I have it, that I don't have it unlocked, and then we'll do the actual recipe. Let's do it that way. Lucky Great. Dog. Rat is locked. The fact is on the TP means so this isn't time sensitive, obviously. Yeah, so we just need the Lucky Great Rat. So it shouldn't be too bad. It's just buy 20 wine, and I think the rest of it we should be clear with, honestly. I just need a stack of regular luck. And I consumed all my regular luck or turned it into exotics, didn't I? Great, so... Fuck it, I'll buy it then. I'll buy it. It's just easier. It's just quicker. I'm paying for the convenience of my time. Lucky great rep. 5G. It's only like a 50G different, 50 silver difference between the two buys or the thingies. So whatever, we'll do it that way. We'll pick that up. And yeah, it's been a really good month. So you know, it's the end. It's also Brexit Day today. Some real world context for people maybe watching these streams in sequence many months from now. It has happened. You can follow the last few years of my streams and all the major events. I guess I have mentioned them, so there you go. Let's just click unlock. I should probably just insta-salvage it down. I don't even have something appropriate for salvaging stuff right now, which is a bit shitty, but hey. I'll check the vendor for the Essence of Luck as well in a minute. And maybe I'll buy the Legendary Shard thing. I think Noct told me that they were worth a ton. Here we got more junk because we opened those envelopes. We need a beefed WP with 6-packs. What are you talking about? What, like a camera? That would be pretty cool. I don't think I have any Muscle Men ones, no. Come to the EU, Kato and I can school you on Sky Scales. Yeah, I guess so. What was I doing? Yeah, we go to the weekly reward guy. Now these, I'm sure. Oh look, I can buy 2 of them. Wait, how many can I buy before I run out? 3. Now these are all depositable, right? Yeah, they are. As long as I got a few of each. Now, what am I likely to make next? Probably the Call of the Void. For the Warhorn. So if I'd been doing these consistently over Christmas and everything, I should have thought harder about this, because this was probably a good idea to do on all the festivals since, like, even since Halloween. Since I've known for a long time that's the thing. Oh yeah, someone mentioned that the promotions on the gem store, they had the harvest share coming. Has that happened already or not? I do have 1,000 gems, as you can see. Still missing the whale glider. I did show that off on stream yesterday, right? That was where I discovered it. So we'll just scroll down. No. I do have the cape, don't I? Jesus, it's so laggy. It's so fucking laggy. The client isn't laggy, it's just the gem store. The gem store's being, like, insane. Look, and the left panel hasn't even updated. There you go, now it has. Alright, yeah, I do have it. Couldn't remember if I picked it up or not. You also get the Gift of Ice from one of the new map collections. That's the item for Frostfang. Well, I already have Frostfang. We've got to do the Precursor collection, obviously. But yeah. It's next week. The chairs come in next week. Okay, I see. So yeah, I have played a bit more of the patch. I've done the meta now. And experienced what that's like. I'm going to do a YouTube video about it. I haven't actually managed to today. My plan was to get the last bit of Ghosts done. And then a YouTube video on that as well. But I've fallen short and the stream's here now. So I'll probably leave it. But so far so good. I got 20 out of 37 of the achievements. I found the new lore and stuff. I was going to make a video about that. So we probably won't talk about that. My plans today really are to do more of the Sky Scale things while we chat about whatever. It might not be a full-length stream. Frankly, I'm sick of standing up here so much at the moment. Not because of the streams, but because of the audiobook as well. But I will... oh, yeah. Here was another thing. But I will put my time in. Shining. Here you go. The dailies for the festival. I actually have 2 boxes now. And in fact, I've spent one of the boxes already off screen. So we got the Focus. That was the first one we saw. And obviously the skins are updated. And then I also picked up another artificing one. Let me just scroll and try and find it. Oh, maybe I didn't. I guess I didn't. I'm lying. Maybe that it's Winter's Day. I'm getting confused with all the Winter's Day stuff. So yeah, we're just going to spend these next 2 on more artificing stuff. So the staff, I'll pick up. We unlock that skin. It's actually not a great skin, but you know, for the collection. And then we'll find wherever the scepter is. Dagger, Focus, already got. Greatsword. Hammer, longbow, mace, pistol, musket, Verge. Yeah, there you go, the Verge. The Verge is the scepter. So you have that. So, we get 3 of those now. I don't know how long the festival's going to keep going. I will keep doing the stuff, obviously, but we might be out of time now. We might not get many more of those. I'm assuming I will get more, as long as the festival is of the regular length, because people tell me that, you know, they're done with, like, wrapped gifts and shit and haunted weapons from being consistent. This is the first time since the very beginning, have been consistent with one of those. It's really weird, the kind of things that people prioritize in games, and I just never do. You know, that weird, like, consistent, mind-numbing kind of do it and 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 do it. Some people are really good at, and they think it's crazy to not be good at that kind of stuff, but I just... Anything too routine in a game that doesn't have an end point, or one that feels close, just really is off-putting to me. Right, so yeah, we'll go back to general. Actually, what I'll do, I think I should still have the tab up from yesterday. I do, the reality rifts. Nice. So we're just going to continue with reality rifts really here, guys. And I'm going to try my best to have some decent response to chat and stuff as we go. I know that it's a bit boring, but... Well, actually, I don't think these are that boring. I've been quite enjoying these. But, you know, it's not actually in the new episode, and I know that that's the main thing a lot of you guys will be looking for. So, I'm going to change the order this time, just because I'll just do the default order. So, we're going to start in the Caledon Forest this time. It wants me near the Stormwreck Deeps. Which I have to assume... Yeah, okay, it's this one here. And we can move on. It's going to feel very much like yesterday. The sword skin's good, is it? Yeah, and as for the new skins and the new map, really, my progress is very, very, very minimal so far. Kerry just managed to finish last night getting the Shiver emote. It's just occurred to me, I probably want a sky scale. Oh, this is kind of an interesting thing, isn't it? Because they're basically saying to me, start on the sky scale. Oh! I was not expecting that to work. Surely my brilliance knows no bounds. Look at that. I mean, I'll play it cool. Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. Look at this. This is kind of cool. Does it want me to stay near the water every time? It does. So if I boost the wrong way, we might be headed into the drink. This reminds me a little bit of those fancy griffin flying videos that never got as much success as they deserved, really. Dude, the post-processing and that horizon, that is fucking bonkers. Look, this is why people recommend turn post-processing off in Corteria. Alright? Because it's like, okay, do you want to see pretty skyboxes and the game? Or do you want to be blinded? Like, honestly, I don't know what they were thinking about with the bloom at launch. That's why I had that project for a long time. Guild Wars 2 Hooked started as an idea where you would have different presets for different maps. And you would do your own bloom and your own stuff. But yeah, I'm still a good bit away from the Shiver emote anyway, which is what I sort of interrupted myself saying. Is the back piece 40k or 41? It's 38. So I got the first back piece. 40k is obviously a nice big one. I don't know when the next back piece comes. I don't know when I'll get my Hellfire one. Presumably a while away. We go to the Lion Guard way station waypoint. So are you the way station? No, you're Cratebane Haven. You're the Caledon Haven. That's the way station in the middle. I knew I didn't need to go that far. 42k? Yeah, you can definitely trust Valen on that one. If he's saying it's 42, I definitely believe that. If you've been doing the new achievements, are there any in particular that you really liked? To be honest, I like a lot of what they've done. Even the ones where it's like you got to do 20 of this type of event or whatever. I think they're fine. I really do. I like that I'll be able to play the map meaningfully over several days. I'm not like one of these people that has to zerg it like really, really, really fast. So I'm kind of happy that there'll be that kind of bedrock of shit for me to do in the map. I also think that 20 per event is better than the Dragonfall one. If you remember Dragonfall, they were like just kill 1,000 enemies in each area. And that was kind of, you know, that was a bit too devoid for me of anything else. So, yeah, doing the different flavors of events been alright. They've obviously got some nice special different ones. They have achievements that lead you to all the different content. So if you were missing the lore, there's an achievement to go get the lore, stuff like that. I think that's all fine. You know, fun little goofy ones like let a tree hit you when it's being felled. You know, none of them are really challenging or whatever. For what achievements are and do in Guild Wars, I think this is a healthy patch. I think this is good. Way better than Episode 1. And probably more enjoyable than the prologue as well. The prologue had nice, meaty achievements as well, but the map itself kind of felt a bit iffy about them. So, yeah, but my outlook on this patch, in terms of, like, master and, like, feeling like, okay, are the devs putting out substantive content that they have managed to capture for people invested in AP and stuff? Is it substantive? I would kind of say, yeah, it's not bad. Now, did we do Queensdale yesterday? I remember wandering around there. And then I went to the wiki, but I don't think we actually grabbed it. So we go to the Deathroot Shack first. There's nothing as fun as the shooting gallery from the prologue. Well, we're in a discussion about achievements. We're not really in a discussion about the event quality, are we? But yeah, that was a pretty good event for sure. I liked that. Yeah, maybe you're right that they didn't do anything that great, like on that level. It's sad to me because like that format is there now, so why not fucking do another shooting range? Like change it slightly. Now it's not a game. Now it's serious. You know, you're shooting like corruption crystals out of the sky or something, and the route that the platforms take can be a bit different, maybe. You know, but I guess sometimes what they're making isn't like copy pasteable, if that makes sense. Yeah, it had good achievements attached to it. I understand that. But I think that the reason we like the shooting gallery surely is more the content itself was really rich. So whatever achievements they tack onto it are obviously going to be fun. Yeah, well, I definitely didn't do these because it did just ding, so that's good. The other one in Queensdale is at Steam Pipe Steading. Is this Steam Pipe Steading? No, that's the Beetleton Waterworks. Is this the Steam Pipe Steading? That's a pumping station. Steam Pipe Steading? A steading? Am I reading this wrong? I am reading it wrong. Yeah, that's in South Sun. We're going to under a bridge east of the Fields Waypoint. Oh, shit, it's under this? Dude, that's pretty cool. I quite like that. Yeah, the new maps aren't really doing adventures. There's no supply runs. There are certain things that season... You know, people are making the comparison, like, is this current Saga expansion like, right? People are doing that a lot. And I think that's perfectly valid. I think the devs even invited a little bit of that discussion with the way they did the presentation. I feel like we, the community, kind of pushed them into that as well, but, you know, it's valid. What I don't see too much conversation about is how does the Saga compare to Season 4? Because I'm not being funny. I think Season 4, in some ways, does look a little bit more, like, broad and had more variant content in it. And I think if I had a massive hate boner for Guild Wars, which I know that so many people do, if you wanted to do that and create a salty fucking post on Reddit, all you have to do is, like, rant about that maybe Season 4 was better. But I don't see people doing that, because, again, I think a lot of it's a bit shallow, really. Okay, so Steam Pipe Steading. Like, take the Sandswept Isles, right? Episode 2. So it's not the first one they put extra effort in. It's not the last one they put extra effort in. What do we have? Well, you get adventures, you get bounties. Neither of those features are in the new ones. They did, like, interesting techie things, like with the sharks jumping out at you as you skim over the water, or the dolphins giving you a speed boost as you go over the water. The story itself, Steam Pipe Steading must be, yeah, okay, it's a POI in the center. You had quite decent mechanics and stuff going on with the story, flying on an airship, blowing up a whole Asuran city. You had the password thing to you know, you had 2 ways through. Like, they didn't skimp on the story in that release in any way, did they? And I still remember all this very, very clearly. There were 2 separate meta events on the map. It was a big, sizable map straight away. You know, these are quality releases. Season 4, and to me, that's not like the saga sucks. It's that, you know, that they had a pretty high bar, I think, with Season 4. They really did. I don't think they got any real credit for the high bar they were setting. But now people could easily use that as ammo against the saga. Easily, couldn't they? Particularly within the eye line of the expansion-like thing. I mean, I guess this reveals something about myself that I probably would have called. I do call. Maybe I need to think about it a bit more before I really commit. But, you know, Season 4, was Season 4 expansion-like? Maybe it's fair to say the answer was yes. It just wasn't all released at once, right? That was the thing. And if you missed it, because you're like a ultra fucking casual, and you don't even have the game installed anymore, possibly out of some misdirected hysteria because of your prior hate boner, you have to pay a little bit of gems to get back in. Maybe. So yeah, it's somewhere near here. I'm not sure where. What do you guys think? Was Season 4 expansion-like? Let's hear that. I'd like to see some comments about that. It just says east, so I guess I'll just fucking go east. We'll see what we got. Yeah, well, Biora has... You can't say Biora has 2 metas as well. That's totally fucking bullshit, because it took them 2 patches to do the 2 metas, didn't it? Now, the frequency between the 2 patches was a little bit shorter, I believe. But still, like... I mean, I think comparisons like that are super arbitrary anyway. You know? I could literally just piss out a really basic meta event that's like as simple as... like the assault on, like this, even this island control meta that we're under, right? This is literally just a couple of defense events. There's nothing interesting going on with the mechanics in this meta at all, right? But it's a meta. I could put 3 arbitrary metas, just a selection of just a couple of dynamic events, group them together as a meta, and now what does it look like? The bullet points on the list says that, oh, now my patch is better than the Season 3 ones. You know, like, it's a farcical argument to make in the first place, really, to just make blatant, wide-swinging feature comparisons that don't really attest to the nature of the content itself. So, don't get me wrong, I think this is all pretty fucking stupid. But if you were to do it... and, to be fair, even if I look that dead in the eye, what was a more layered and interesting meta? Specimen Chamber? Where are we? Okay, so Specimen Chamber, what is that? That's a shitty defense event, really. Followed by a boss room with 7 potential bosses. First you fight 1 random one, then you fight 2 at once, and then it ends, right? So they've kind of like got 7 different events there. Each boss has its own thing. It kind of has the lore about Subject Beta and the suggestion at Kudu's daughter, I think it was. So, you know, there's some story there. There's those different bosses. You're only going to see 1 or 2 every now and then. It had reasonable reward. Okay, so that's Specimen Chamber. Now, how do we compare Specimen Chamber to... defending Jorah's Keep and fighting back the Blizzard? So what's this one got? It's got a big weather effect. It's got good amounts of dialogue with it's the Havroon, right? It's got like an essence sap mechanic. This one can actually fail. The other one doesn't often fail. The events themselves are just like defense, though. You're just literally standing there. I think this is quite a boring meta event. So, you know, there's like whole conversations you get out of just comparing the metas, you know? So to just hand wave and say it's a matter of numbers, I think is a disservice. Especially because Guild Wars 2 is a lot more complex than most other MMOs. Most other MMOs would just slap a fucking random traditional quest in place of that. Or it would be a quest chain, wouldn't it? That's their fucking meta. It's just a quest chain. Which is like way easier to implement, but not judged as harshly. Okay, back to this. Let me see. Man, I'm so thirsty today. I've already gone through like 2 liters of water. Oh, Wayne's Refuge. We're going northwest between the rock and the cliff. Okay, so northwest is somewhere out here. Oh, there it is, between the rock and the cliff. This reminds me a little bit of... oh shit, what's it called? What's that beautiful chalky cliff in Dover in the UK where it breaks apart? Fuck, I can't remember. I visited it last year. And ever since I visited it, I noticed it's everywhere. Like, it's in Avengers Endgame. Like, it gets talked about all the time. People want to talk about the UK coasts. They always talk about this place. I can't remember what it's called anymore. No, it's not the Cliffs of Dover. Oh, no. Am I thinking of the wrong place, then? No, I am. It wasn't Dover I was in. Where the fuck was it that I was at? It's not the White Cliffs of Dover. Obviously, it's not. It's another, like, iconic place in the UK. Where, essentially, on the southern coastline, where a section breaks off. Yeah, I said, what are those White Cliffs in Dover called? No, it wasn't Dover I was at. Fuck, what's it called? UK. And as much as judgmental as all you pricks are, none of you actually have the answer. You just sit there in your fucking arrogance. I know the name of the pub near it. I can't find it. Why can't I remember this fucking place that I visited? No, it wasn't in Scotland. I just told you I went there last year. I would know if I'd gone to Scotland. All right. You do have enough information. I've already told you. It's a very iconic UK coastal site. I've described the fucking cliffs to you. You have plenty of information. I just got the county wrong. It's Dorset I'm thinking about. It's in Dorset. Yeah, it's near the Jurassic Coast. I can't remember what the actual place is though. I found a picture of it at the Daily Mail. I'm on the Daily Mail. Old Harry's Rock. That's it. It's Old Harry's Rock. That's what it is. All right. Okay. So back to Guild Wars. I just had to do that. I had to remember because what's the point in visiting a thing or doing a thing if you've forgotten it in less than a year? It's Old Harry's Rock. And that's everywhere. Anyway, that's what this place in South Sun Cove reminds me of. We can now move on. All right, off to Metrica, east of the Rana Landing Complex waypoint. Rana Landing. I genuinely wouldn't have a clue on this one. We're just going to have to mouse over a lot of this stuff. Landing makes me think water. It occurs to me, mousing over this right now, I haven't really explored Metrica properly for a very, very, very long time. This is one of my favourite maps, and I've just not spent much time. Rana's Landing Waypoint. Am I misreading this again? Oh, no. It's the Rana Landing Complex Waypoint. Still, that doesn't really change anything. How many big-ass complexes are there with full-on... Wait, are they there? One in the middle, I guess. This is the one with the script information, I suppose. Yeah, Yukon said it was the second on his Google search after the fucking Cliffs of Dover. The reason I got messed up there is because obviously the Cliffs of Dover are so iconic. They're all anyone ever talks about. So they kind of conflated in my mind. Here, this one here. But yeah, that little section of cliff is in so many movies. I've seen it everywhere. Since I visited it in real life, I just see it everywhere now. And I never knew. Interesting thing about these, by the way, the wiki was missing something like 10 of these when the achievements came out. And in the 3 days since then, they completely filled it out. Kind of shows how achievements motivate players to complete their understanding of the game. Yeah, I was really impressed with the wiki. Because... obviously, Guild Wars' wiki's always been very impressive. This is cool, like, not knowing where it is through the treetops. But holy shit, the new map has those books in it, and the books are tiny. And you can't, like, hit a button to see the yellow text showing where they you know, highlighting where they were or anything. You just have to stumble upon them. One of them is on like a random cliff on a random area of the map that is so difficult to find. And yet the wiki had the information about all of them. Players found them and collaborated, and then there it was, you know. It's kind of amazing how little the devs actually have to telegraph stuff, just because they know that, frankly, the internet will find this stuff for them. I didn't get the buff. Shit. We're gonna go back. Possibly character select. You saw a Reddit thread the day after the patch and someone complained they didn't have the locations. You call them a jerk. They're not really a jerk, though. It's just not... It's ignorance. It's not actually... It's not bad to be ignorant, can I just say? Obviously, it can be misfortunate to be ignorant, but everyone on planet Earth is guilty of ignorance to one thing or another, right? You can't know everything. And a lot of people just... They're clueless. They don't know what the wiki even is, you know? It's like that story I told about that, like, little family that did their own cinema things, and after a couple of years it got a bit big, but they were still they were doing it all themselves and spending all the money themselves. And after a couple of years, people started to complain to them that there was only popcorn and not hot dogs and all that kind of stuff. You know, those people sound like dickheads for saying that, but the truth is they're just ignorant as to the context of what they've waded into. And they have expectations now that won't be met, so they say rude stuff. And they look like shitty people, but it's just that they didn't know, you know. There's a lot of people that are just... They've never had that information. They don't realise that the wiki is done by people in the community. There's a little bit of dev involvement, naturally, but it's generally that. And I'll tell you what, I'm just going to waypoint here. That's something I come up against a lot, because a lot of people misconstrue the lore and come away with really weird ideas and basically headcanon and just like bullshit little theories and implications, and they take them as rock solid. And because they read it on the wiki, they think that's lore. They think that's it. The wiki has it, so like I'll say, all right, give me a citation, give me a source for this thing you've just blathered out. Where has the game ever said that? And they'll say it's on the wiki, and you'll read, and it's like some bullshit like embellished thing that someone's just added to a wiki page. This was more of a thing a few years ago, I think. I haven't really come across it so much lately. But I'd always come back and say the wiki isn't a source. Like, it's not a fucking source. Give me the actual in-game dialogue. Obviously, if the wiki is specifically listing NPC dialogue, I will trust that it has been accurately represented there. But some, like, random bullshit someone's written on a wiki page, that's not anything. But people don't realize that. They think that the wiki is like the devs. And if it's on the wiki, then that is it. And they lose context as well. If there's a weird, random little anecdote on a single page on the Guild Wars 1 wiki that contradicts like mountains of more recent story development, they'll act like the previous piece of information is the ultimate god because it's on the wiki, and it's like, well, no, this is just like... Oh, by the way, on that topic, I need to go to the east of Conduit Tower Blig. I thought that was called Big there, and I thought that was a very creative name for the Asura. I would have bought it as well. It's like some weird variant of Technobabble or something. On that topic, there is a moment in Ghosts of Ascalon, by the way, which is more recent. Okay, I'll give you the full story. In the Guild Wars 1 manuscripts, some of the first lore that they ever did, like literally the first lore, there is a suggestion in the Guild Wars 1 Prophecies manuscript that maybe Rurik had siblings. Well, there's a moment in Ghosts of Ascalon that explicitly says that he was the only son. So to me, that means that theory about him having siblings is not a thing. So don't worry about it anymore. But because obviously the newer stuff trumps the older stuff. But you know, I've talked about it in the past just out of ignorance. And it's not a bad thing if someone points out your ignorance somewhere either. People get offended by that shit. But I mean, what the fuck do you expect? You really have such a high opinion of yourself that you knew everything, and now you're offended at the realization that you're being told you didn't? I mean, I get like that sometimes, I'm sure. It's just Conduit Tower Big, so it's not actually a waypoint I'm looking for now. It's a POI, and I'm pretty sure the Conduit Towers are what brings... Yeah, there you go. Blig. They're what brings the electricity through the northern areas of the map, so I was just going to mouse through all of those, and I found the first one. Yeah, thanks for the tip there, Kato. WP, you're ignorant. Get out, banned. Ban him. I was reading a discussion about like what unhealthy mindsets in the world people would rather go away. And someone had a really interesting one that really resonates with me. And it was this. It's kind of a perspective a lot of people have. Maybe you guys will, when I say this, you'll probably recognize people in real life that are this, you know. And it's, for a lot of people, it's if you are contradicting me, then that means you must be persecuting me, right? If you are saying something contrary to my worldview, no matter what it is, a big topic or a small one, that's like cause for upset to me. That's cause for like offense. There's a lot of people like that, who they'll think that they're being shouted at, or they'll think that they're being targeted in some way, just because they're being given contradictory information. And it's not a discussion. It's not healthy. It's not nice. It's accusatory. It's aggressive. Like, they literally crumble the second that they're given a contradicting element that they didn't have before. And I think there is a lot of that. The thread was generally okay. There were lots of other things, but that was the one that really leapt out of the page to me. Because you've got to be very careful. When people are prone to that, you have to be very, very, very careful about the way you speak, I think. Not that I'm very good at it, but hey. As you well know, chat. Dude, I can't even see it. It just says Conduit Tower Blig. It doesn't even say... What direction does it say? It says east again. It's weird. So many of them have said east. I guess I'm just blinding it out now. Yeah, for sure. Condescension is a separate thing. Kitter is right. Like, I can definitely be condescending. Especially here on these streams. I condescend the fuck out of people. I really do. And I really wish I didn't do it so much. But that takes more effort to moderate my personality than I can be asked to, apparently. But yeah, so yeah, that's kind of the thing. I think that's nearly always the problem people have, right? They feel condescended. I really like this. Oh, imagine if they did one that took you up to the JP. Imagine! Oh, ArenaNet, you missed a trick. I guess the truth is that they couldn't do it because there's like an invisible barrier or some shit. How cool would that have been? They definitely missed a trick there. Well, in any case, there's another one done. We're off to Brisbane, south of the Gallowfields waypoint in the chasm. So Gallowfields is top left, isn't it? Isn't that where you go for the puzzle? It is. It is where you go for the puzzle. Nice. I know WP has hurt my feelings before in the way he misinterpreted and presented what I said. Yeah, I do apologize for that. Probably nothing feels worse than having your comment read out wrong because, you know, it wasn't communicated in a certain way. That might be your fault or mine, right? And then trigger me into a rant or whatever. I just want to, if I haven't said this enough, let me say it again. To be honest with you all in chat, unless you're like really, really, really regular, I'm not like piling up evidence or memories in or out of your favor, right? Like, someone could say something really fucking stupid one day, and I'll chew them out in some random comment about it. And, like, 2 days later, to be honest, you're not really in my mind. When you come back or you say something else, you know, it's not like I've developed an opinion and I'm being really judgmental or whatever. Not unless you're, like, really, really, really regular and really, really, really consistent, you know. I'll happily accept someone says something stupid one day and something I really agree with the next day. I try to just keep it about the topic of the time, you know. So don't ever feel like I'm really judging you that much, because I'm honestly not. So I would hope that that would soothe anyone. Because I bet there is some poor bastard that, like, 2 years ago, they came to one of my streams and they said, "Hi, Wooden Potatoes, is Guild Wars 2 dead?" And I blow up at them. And they're like, "Oh my god," and they've gone, and they're gone for good now. And they think if they come back and they leave their name in chat, I'll be like, you're the dick that said Guild Wars was dead. You know, that's just... It doesn't have to be 2 years. It can be like a day. It could be on the same stream, honestly. Like, my retention of most usernames is very, 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 very poor. And I'll happily fall on that sword of being a bit of a knob if it means people are more comfortable in chat. North of the Aether Vault Lab. Aether Vault, is that near where they develop the nukes? It's over here. Rot Brew. Yeah, it is near where they develop the nukes. They're probably like 13 as well, so they're innocently ignorant. I was just reading, right, talking about 13-year-olds. I was reading about that. I was reading about that. Somebody did like on a Data is Beautiful post about Reddit discussion. This isn't a Guild Wars 2 thing. But what they did was, you know, there's that subreddit, Are Teenagers. Sometimes it appears on my front page, right? I guess it's just a place where like loads of kids get together and just talk about stuff. And someone did a data analysis of the people's posts. And this thread I'm talking about was not in the Teenagers sub itself. It was in the Data is Beautiful sub, which is where I was. So I read this thing, and it says that the majority of people who were the age of people posting in there, the majority of them were like 15 or 16 years old, all right? So the most users in there are at least claiming for themselves to be 15 or 16, right? But in terms of comments, the ones who comment the most are the 13-year-olds. And the ones that comment the second most are the 14-year-olds. And the ones that comment the third most are the 15-year-olds. And the ones that comment, and so on and so on. Like, every year, people comment less and less and less. So it really, and you can see this bar chart, it very, very much presents this sense of, look, a lot of what you read on the internet is being written by increasingly juvenile people, right? In general, the chance that you are an active commenter slants you into like a younger demo or whatever. And I genuinely saw that data, and I kind of felt a little bit better about life. Because I was like, all right, that's why. That's why all these comments are filled with insane people. It's because they're all kids. It was brilliant for playing into my preconceived biases. So, yeah. I saw that just a couple of hours ago. That if you were posted on that thing and you were 13, you were by far, like, sending the most messages. I appreciate how lovely it is to do that on Twitch here, where the only reason I have any interaction is because of people typing. So I'm just, like, slandering you all, I guess. Well, not really. There's nothing wrong with being young, I guess. But the Agottal Grounds is where we go next. But yeah, me in general, I'm a lurker more than anything else. I really very introverted, very quiet. I hardly even do participate in upvoting and downvoting or video liking or any of the stuff. You know, to be honest, my life is one of deep hypocrisy. If everyone who's ever watched a Wooden Potatoes thing acted the way that Wooden Potatoes acts, I would have like one viewer and like I would have no subs. I would have nothing, like nothing. So yeah, appreciate you guys, even if even if you're 13. All right, let's go this way. Climb up, move out of these murky waters. This is a nice one, going up the waterfall. It's nice though, because I do know there are some silent brothers and sisters in arms at the moment who are saying, oh, that's me. I do believe that we are the majority. It's not nerves that stop me typing messages and leaving comments and stuff, not really. It's just, it's the sense that I don't actually have anything to contribute, because whatever I probably want to say, someone else will have said. You have to have a certain, like, ignorance or arrogance to that fact, I think, to be a YouTube commenter. And that's not me saying that everyone on YouTube, whoever leaves a comment in my videos, is ignorant or arrogant. I would hate the platform if people didn't leave comments, right? So I would want to encourage anyone and everyone to do it. But for me personally, I do very much just get the sense that it's like, okay, I'm watching this video. It's got 20,000 views. It came out 3 days ago. There are 576 comments. And I've noticed that the music is a little bit loud. I would never in a million years go to the comments and say, the music's too loud. Because I am like 100% confident that one of those 500 other people out of 20,000 has identified that and informed the person. So you have to be a kind of, and it could be a problem with a video like that, or it could be an observation of something nice about the video, like, oh, WP, you changed your mic settings, that's cool. Or it could be about it could be directly targeting the discussion, like, oh, WP did a video discussing Guild Wars 2's biggest problems. I wouldn't leave my own take on that, because all the hundreds of other people have probably said what I've said already. So I just don't do it. I feel like unless I really have something to add, which is why if you're on Twitch and your chat is very slow, I'll talk a lot. If you're doing YouTube videos and like no one watches you and no one's leaving any comments, I'll talk. But it's just that sense. I don't want to like retread ground that other people. It's the west of here apparently. And how do I know I didn't do it while ranting? Because the dots are showing me. So we'll go this way. If it's very slow moving, then I'll talk a little bit more. But in general, if it's sustaining itself, I really don't, because I just feel like I've got nothing. I really don't. So yeah, I think you have to be kind of blind to that thing. You know, you have to not really care about doing what someone else has already done to really frequently leave comments. And I feel the same about Reddit threads or forum threads. Like when I used to spend a lot of time on Guild Wars oriented forums, I eventually started posting a lot. But it took me months and months and months. And it took me months because it took me months to realize, look, no one actually has this take. No one is actually like fucking defending this idea or that idea. So yeah, I'm going to start talking. And then obviously it becomes fun and stuff. So that just leads to me being sort of a non-input a lot of the time. There also might be a thing that I just got this fucking soapbox. Every day I get to come and just ramble shit. I don't have to wait for someone to respond. I just fucking go crazy into the mic and then I'm all drained and I'm all good. This is my release. It's a therapy session. Oh, it fucking failed again. What am I doing wrong? Let's just waypoint and see if it's reappeared. People who are resourceful at finding the answer themselves don't need to ask questions in chat. Yeah, I guess that's true as well. There is that whole, why are you asking, just Google it side of the world now, you know? I frequently come across that. Where if I'm in like a conversation with people in Discord, I would say at least once a week. Nah, not once a week. Maybe once every 2 weeks, once a month. There'll be something I want to know. But instead of Googling it, I'll just ask the question at large to facilitate some conversation, right? And maybe because it's quicker to get the information, but in general, because it's conversational. And it will just be like, well, just Google it. Just find that out. You know, there is a bit of that. And I think that happens in written formats more, for sure. This is kind of a weird half-written, half-spoken format that we're enjoying here on this website. We do have the buff this time. I only checked it right at the end, so that would have been a bit stupid if I'd got all the way back here and I didn't. But there it is. Rip Jerry's comment. Oi, Guild Wars 2 lore YouTuber streamer prick. Did you read the books then? If so, what did you think about the code and naming stuff? Well, I'm going to do a video about that, Jerry, so don't worry. I'll probably read them out and give you some response to it in that video. I think it's a good little thing there. I won't just put it out here buried in a little stream. But yeah, I liked them in general. I thought they were pretty cool, especially the code and naming stuff. It definitely added something to the patch. They were nice, meaty books as well. That was what was really impressive to me about them. South of the Dark Wound Waypoint in the harbour. The Dark Wound Waypoint. Dude, listen to the sounds of the background there. Some of the shit in Guild Wars is so ambient and amazing. Oh, is the Dark Wound up here? No? Oh, Dark Wound Defile. Oh, this road, I get so nostalgic on this specific road, this fucking area. And I'll tell you why. It's because the first thing I did when I was playing Guild Wars was a human Ellie that ran down here and found Garenhof. And it was just so... Oh, so exciting. I'll tell you what, if you want to get enthusiastic and excited about what ArenaNet might make next, you really want to think about those early moments in Guild Wars 2 and how different you passed the game back then. It does it for me anyway. again, we don't actually know if they're making a game that's going to be like Guild Wars 2, but hey. I'm going to go ahead and assume it's an RPG of some kind. They said it was third-person action, didn't they? Something like that. Oh, wait. Does this take me to the Wizard's Tower? Oh, they won't let us get that close because it kind of loses its mystique if you get too close. Oh, in the harbour. Why didn't the wiki just say at Garenhof? That's so weird. It's in the harbour. Why wouldn't you just say Wizard's Fife? Do we actually go right up to it then? I mean, this is the harbour. Maybe we'll go low first. Yeah, there it is. No mysterious dialogue just yet. Sorry, guys. How did I find the new strike? Well, that did I talk about that in a video already? I can't remember. I've got to figure that out. It was alright. Probably the most enjoyable strike experience I've had so far. I was doing strikes again to get all the bonus achievements, you know, not get hit by shockwaves, stuff like that. And that was enjoyable. I might kick up a stream. Yeah, look, they're not taking us to the tower. I might kick up a stream where we go for gold on the newest strike. I don't know when it rotates out. I'm guessing on Monday when the raids reset as well. It's weird. I feel like we just experienced... What the fuck? I feel like we just experienced raid reset. And yeah, it's going to be Monday again before we're back towards there. But yeah, so getting gold might be fun on a strike. Something like that. Doing the meta as well on the streams would also be really good because the meta takes ages. I don't know whether they've retuned it. I noticed when I logged in today there was another patch. And I'm not sure. I haven't read the notes on this new like mini patch. But hopefully they're recalibrating that meta. It's clearly like not scaled how they thought it would. And the way it's working out is it should be 30 minutes max to beat Drakkar. It's kind of a terrible meta. Let me just say. Again, this I want in the video. But it's kind of a terrible meta from the fundamental idea that the difficulty is in Rage. That is the only difficulty. And in Rage, bit meaning it despawns after half an hour. So that is clearly not what ArenaNet were going for. They actually have an achievement in there. It's like the Vinewrath, where you're supposed to like clear out one of the little areas, and then you get a debuff on you, and you shouldn't go into the next one too soon. But the fight takes so long that that debuff always wears off before the next room opens. So clearly, ArenaNet were expecting the fight to go a lot quicker than it does. Clearly, they thought that the boss was going to die a lot faster. Because in Rage is not meant to be the main thing, right? So basically, the boss needs to be way more deadly and squishier as well. And by the way, if that is the problem, they were expecting us to kill him quicker, and nobody does. That is a sign that ArenaNet expected us to be able to do more damage. They overestimated the capabilities of random open world players that are in Soldiers, Minion Mancer builds. Because for some reason there's about 100,000 flesh golems. Dude, I'm getting a couple of donations. Read chat, man. I am reading chat. What are you talking about? Old topic now, but I got told where these books were via map chat. Never felt more like Guild Wars 2 was an MMO. That's really cool, dude. Yeah, like the social sides of that are obviously really big and important. And that's what's been kind of cool about strikes as well. So yeah, that's nice. Thank you so much for that donation. I'm thinking, I've realized, guys, I'm going to do a channel update, but I've realized money is not as comfortable as I thought it was. And I'm thinking maybe on the streams, I might put that white text back, but maybe encourage donations or something. I kind of hate the idea of doing that. I don't like that whole fucking thing that a lot of streamers do, where they have like a little bar on the screen, and it's like, give me 300 for my next thing. I kind of don't like that very much. It feels like, I don't know, there's something about it that's off. But maybe if I have like little white messages every now and then, like we did at Christmas. I don't know, but there might be a bit of a change. There's definitely big changes coming to Patreon, by the way. But again, today's the last day of January. All that stuff's going to be announced to you tomorrow, I think. February 1st, you're going to see everything I've been doing this month. Tag me just subbed as well, so thanks very much for that, man. Appreciate that. Okay. So we did the 3 Brisbane. We did the 2 Kessex. We go to Gendarin now. We're really hammering our way through Kreiter, it seems. And I'm just going to guess. I think it would be pretty cool to have one near the entrance to Lion's Arch. But with a new gate, since Lion's Arch got rebuilt, maybe this place isn't actually that great anymore. We can't go near the swinging boy or anything. Okay, so apparently southeast of the Stone Guard waypoint. That is here, isn't it? Is this Stone Guard? No, this isn't going to be Stone Guard, is it? I just thought because it's a stone gate. Stone Guard. Southeast of Stone Guard. Just do boring WP like on Boxing Day. I got £200. Yeah, but that's... No. That's not like an actual... See, I hate this. A donation should just be a bit of goodwill, whatever. It shouldn't be something I'm actively thinking about how to manipulate people into doing. Like, how fucking bullshit is that? That's, like, so horrendous. How do I abuse the goodwill of the people watching me to encourage them more? Really, it feels so scummy. I don't know. You know, you can't do a one-off thing that happened to people found funny. And, like, that just feels so tacky. Can you imagine if I just kept doing that now? How desperate and sad. Look. Southeast. I think we just go down the road and we see what happens. No, this isn't the topic of selling out to me. Selling out is kind of overused, I think, as a term. Selling out, right, is you stand for one thing and then money convinces you to stand for another. I suppose to an extent it kind of counts. Like, if I think it's tacky and then I get a lot of money, so I'm like, fuck it, I'll do it anyway. I suppose there's an idea of selling out there, but I think it's, you know, a little bit more tangible than that. This is probably the worst one I've done. That was boring. And didn't take me anywhere interesting or any different distance. Why is that in the game? Right, well, whatever. The other one's at Cornucopian Fields waypoint. Now, that is the waypoint, isn't it? That is totally... Yeah, it is. What a ride. Wasn't it the whole master project? Well, look. People seem to have really... There's a thing that I need to say to you guys about Master. I just don't know how to pass it without spitting in the face of all the, like, keys and shit I've been given. So I find it really hard to. But I'll try, right? Master. I'm doing Master because I want something meaningful to be able to stream with and put context on stuff that otherwise would be really boring. Like, if I imagine myself as a viewer and I was watching this stream with a guy getting all these orbs... and that was just what he was doing, and that was it. It wasn't really... It's because it was a bit of new content. I think that would feel kind of empty and hollow. But if it's a part of a full experience of getting everything in the game, now I think that's good content that I'd enjoy. This is really cool. Imagine if they had collision. That's why I'm doing Master. I'm doing Master because I want to do good content that's a reason to stream every day. That's why I'm doing Master. It's not, and I'm sad to say... It's not that I actually care that much about getting loads of gems and getting loads of keys. I'm not actually that motivated by taking, you know, Guild MM's 4 legendaries. I'm not that motivated by someone giving me invisible slippers. You know, these are wonderful, lovely, amazing things, but that's not my priority motivation in the world. I'm not doing Master to sell out and get a ton of gifts from people. I'm doing Master... because I want something that's sort of decent to stream. And I want to stream because realistically, I want to feel like people have got a bit of a community following me. And I want subs and I want people to donate. I want to be able to fund my life, right? I want it to be a part of my job, right? It is my job. That's why this is all happening. So, like with the criticisms I had about the gem store recently, about, oh, WP is just getting given all this stuff or whatever. Like, people were really angry about that. I honestly don't... I would trade that away. I'm not like here to like sneakily rub my hands together and think that that's the be all and end all. I think a lot of casual commentators in Guild Wars 2 just think that. They think, oh, it's just to get all the stuff. Like, that's clearly the whole thing for him. He's just trying to manipulate people to get things. I honestly would cull that away from Master. I am at the same time, however, reliant on that because Master is so difficult to do. I just couldn't imagine earning everything, you know. The only way that the project actually feels somewhat tangible is by leaning into that. But again, it's all just about the project for me. It's not that my greatest priority in life is to get all this stuff. It's really hard to articulate this because it does kind of spit on stuff. It sort of says, oh, you gave me those invisible slippers, whatever, you know, when it really comes down to it, I don't give a fuck. I don't really want to tell people that. I don't want to really give that idea, because I am equally very enthusiastic about all the, you know, efforts that people go into, and I wouldn't just look down on that. But, yeah, it's kind of a weird balance. So, yeah, I don't think that Master is selling out. What is Master selling out? You know, it just doesn't apply. I sold out what? And for what? If that's what you're saying, you might have been responding to someone else in chat anyway. North of Shield Bluff Waypoint. You know, there is more to life than doing an account tour video once a year. Or once every 2 years. Shield Bluff is... Dude, are you serious? I recognize the name as well. Also, why do I have that there? Is that from killing some giant ages ago during the legendary collection section? I'm going to have to read it again. I think I've read it wrong. Harathi Hinterlands, north of Shield Bluff Waypoint. Is Shield Bluff one of the lower ones? Oh, I'm at Shield Bluff, am I? That would make sense. Thanks for the sub there, Yukon. Thank you. The orb should last longer? No, it's pretty good. If they lasted longer, I feel like it wouldn't really be content anymore. And then the direction. I seem really bad at this. It just says north. I thought it just said north. It just got intimidated when I didn't see it right away, so we'll just move a little bit longer. There you go, nice. Off the top of my head, I do know where one of these is. There's a very prominent and obvious one in Dry Top. I didn't get the buff. I saw it this time. Slowly learning. I don't know. Think his landlord would accept rent in Black Lion Chest? I mean, exactly, right? Like, you can't... It doesn't pay the rent. Maybe all I need to do is cover Guild Wars 2 well enough that it's the biggest MMO and everyone's playing it, and then my landlord is playing it, and then I can pay with Black Lion keys. Oh my god, I'm thinking real long term here. That's the problem with the internet these days. People just don't have this kind of vision. Alright, nice. Next one. Winokan Rally Waypoint. Which is literally at the waypoint. Isn't that the little camp where the spider people get attacked? Yes, it is. I'm surprising myself, these weird little things. You don't have to relog, just wait for the rift to reopen. Yeah, I was wondering that, and I didn't relog for some of these. But it was such a short distance there. I was wondering if I could bypass the spawn timer by just dipping out and back in, if there was one. You think I need help, boys? Well, look, the channel update tomorrow will explain a lot more. But I kind of fucked up something last year as well, to be honest. I sort of made a mistake I think a lot of self-employed people do, which I didn't think enough about budgeting for the taxes I'd be paying at the end of the year. So I am in a bit of a scary place, which is why I'm going to push for Patreon a lot more. I'm going to try and explain everything to people in the video tomorrow. And yeah, I was thinking the Twitch side of the stuff as well. You know, it's a small thing I do at the end of the day. I'm sure I could do better. So we'll see. Realistically, what I want to do with the video tomorrow is I want to tell people my situation, and then I want to just encourage them that if they see a video or a stream, I guess. I can't imagine you would. Or a stream that you really, really, really like at any point over the next couple of months, to just consider doing whatever. But don't just do it instantly is what I'm going to try and tell people. That if I prove myself to you as having made something decent, then please feel free. But I'm not just going to sit there and like beg. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'd rather sort of a two-step process. Next is Kingsgate Camp. That's south of Cloven Hoof Waypoint. That's like right at the end, right? Kingsgate, I have to assume. There, that's Cloven Hoof. That's Kingsgate. The map isn't really pushed. Barricade's a good waypoint now that I can fly. You never used to be able to get over this cliff easily, but now you can, so... Oh, I guess you could always. Alright, whatever, never mind then. I swear I remember always getting barricaded by that cliff. You've certainly been a bit better at cutting off your streams a bit earlier while actually covering some topics and gameplay. Yeah, well, you haven't even seen. Honestly, what's happened this month is I've been doing... You haven't seen anything I've done this month, really. Obviously, I've done random little news videos on some of these days, but that isn't really what I've been doing this month. That's just like... Well, hopefully, like the cherry on top or whatever, right? Like, hopefully. You're talking about Twitter, yeah, and I'm not using Twitter enough. Oh, guys, I've been talking about myself way too much. You guys have got to see what Shaman's got coming for you all. I basically just use Twitter at the moment to DM him, since that's the main way that we communicate. The guy's a fucking genius. Should be pretty exciting. Why are you imagining me as Bernie Sanders asking for financial support? I never actually saw that thing. I know that there's like loads of like jokes about it, right? Him standing in front of the thing and time has come again to ask for your financial support. Yeah, who isn't asking for your financial support? Thanks very much, Navariel. Really appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, next. I think that's it, isn't it? Yeah, that's all of them. We can move on to Lion's Arch now. So west of the Guild Bluff waypoint, midway across the bridge. Didn't realise they were doing them in towns. Guess it makes sense. Guild Bluff? Guild Bluff. Is Patreon's cut lower than what Twitch takes, or what? Yeah, I think so, yeah. I don't know 100%, and also it used to be that you couldn't talk about stuff, and I don't really know what I can talk about, so I'll just leave it there. I don't really know, but I can give you more from Patreon, and Patreon like feels sturdier, and it's just way better. It's way, 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 way better. Just to be clear, I lost over the past 3 years or so, 4 years. I've lost £650 a month on Patreon of people just bailing and not using Patreon anymore, which is a lot. Like, it's at the point where, again, like this last year was a bit of an eye-opener, especially with like the tax thing as well this month. So yeah, it's, you know, that's a lot of fucking money to be living and thinking, okay, this is your baseline, and then it's not, you know. Most people would, I think, shit themselves at that. You'd never expect that from a real career. I mean, that's the thing, it's not. So yeah. Over a long enough time span. What is this? 1 minute ago, ArenaNet. For this year's Friends/Ships... Oh, they're still doing that, are they? After all the controversy with the previous one. We've partnered with Seize the Awkward to encourage friends to reach out and start a conversation about mental health, particularly if a friend is struggling or going through a tough time. Wear this Seize the Awkward clothing outfit to show your support for friends. Learn how to start a conversation at seizetheawkward.org. I see. It's because I went to Lion's Arch. And that is actually a outfit I already got. We did that on the last stream, I think. If you check this out. Here you go. Oh, I'm wearing it. Christ, I didn't even realize I'm wearing it. Alright. So, the next one in Lion's Arch is above the east of Claw Island Portage. Now, I should hope you all know where Claw Island Portage is. Jesus fucking Christ, get Liz out of the outfit? No, I'll support it while the thing's going on. Why not? Dude, I don't know. Oh, it's up there. It's just above my head. Have I or am I planning to make a video about Jormag and where I think or want his or her arc to go for the story? You'd be massively interested in that. Maybe I can add that to the list. I don't really have any big plan for that right now. But maybe that would be definitely a cool thing. We'll see what happens as this patch goes along. But yeah, that would be pretty cool. Like kind of a long-term, well, sort of a general, here's what I think might happen, big stories across the season kind of thing, you know? That's largely Jormag-centric. I could see that. Bloodtide Coast. We're going northeast of Stormbluff Beacon. This one's pretty easy. Stormbluff Isle, of course, being a server. So you're going to know where the beacon is. Northeast, they said. Maybe consider giving people a better incentive to join. Like partner with some of your art creators and they can create little scenes. I think I've got a really good incentive. My current incentive, all right, as Patreon stands right now, you're supposed to get early videos, but the way I've been using the uploads and stuff, it's kind of naff. It's not really, I don't do it enough. Not many people check it anyway at this point. It's not very good. But if the way I've worked in January continues, and it's been very doable in January, this year, you would get very, very, very big value out of that. And I'm just going to change the way that it operates a little bit. And what I'm thinking of doing, maybe, is having a little reminder in each video for people that it's a thing. Which could be good. That's my current thinking at the moment. One thing that Patreon has taught me is that it can very quickly become a serious chore. So, like, I had, when I first started it, I had, like, if you joined, you got free instant access to the guild. And, look, I love my Patreons. Literally, they are the if I should listen to or accommodate or care for any fan, it has to be someone on that website, right? They are the be-all and end-all in a lot of ways, right? But they're all terrible guild. Usually, not all. A lot of them were really terrible guildies. Like, they're people that would sign up, see that they're allowed in the guild, so they'd take advantage of it. They'd get in the guild, and they would never log on. The guild would just fill with just people that never really played the game much. Like, very, very, very casual. Kind of like, you know that idea of, like, a 3-hour-long player across a whole patch? It was stuff like that. So the guilds were, like, really dead. And then when we got the Discord going and the GMs and we set things up, we basically said, well, look, Patreon shouldn't do the guild thing anymore. And so that's not there anymore. But when I first started it, I had the guilds. I had most people who joined got, like, audio podcast versions of the content I was making. And making the podcast version wasn't too bad. It was like a routine that I could get into. But the amount of traffic, because, like, nearly everyone could get it, really, was crazy. The amount of, like, entering in everyone's little email and sending messages to confirm that it worked, or sending messages that it didn't confirm, and then responses would go missing. And it was just because people wouldn't have, like, proper Gmail emails and stuff. It was really quickly, it's like, okay, you just spent your whole fucking afternoon this week, like, just tampering with that, not actually making videos or content for the vast majority of the viewers. And it was just really tedious. And then, obviously, the regular drive as well. So, Patreon has taught me that it's very easy to get swarmed down. When you're a one-man band, you have to be careful. Like, my main thing with Patreon when I first set up was I really just wanted it to be great for people. I didn't want it to be charity. I wanted you to be able to get something decent out of it. And so, obviously, you have all these ideas and you implement a lot of stuff. But and even knowing the risks and thinking I was being conservative at the time, it was very, very quickly... You know, that's why people hire, like, you know, people who just do all that shit. So, yeah, I very much do have the mindset of keeping it simple with Patreon. I don't think I'd be commissioning art and stuff like that. Alright, Dredge Hat is where Triple Trouble starts, I think. No? Is this Dredge Hat? No. Dude, I just saw on Dredge Hat was like a little island. Dude, the Guild Wars 1 music right now. Who's feeling that nostalgia? Ah, it's here. Okay, so... let's see. Dredge Hat. South of the barrier camp. Alright, we'll just go to Dredge Hat, and apparently we'll see it there somewhere nearby. Hey Rocker, how's it going? Well, if you're looking for an update about the raiding stuff, it's on hold since the new patch came out. And these particular master streams, I'm cleaning up the new Skyscale rifts, which are pretty good. I quite like them. There's also some new strike mission achievements, which hopefully I'll do, and the meta. In some of the upcoming stuff as well. Which, by the way, to everyone, we can try to be a little bit better geared for and stuff. If you funds to join Spud, they just go into like Spud prize pools and stuff. It's not to me or anything. And I've never really discriminated that much. You don't need sacks of Ecto to join. Like this guy, this is like super generous as far as I'm concerned. 100 globs, that's fine. Can turn that into a little bit of gold and deposit it. Can deposit them straight away. You know, if you just send like 5 coins or whatever, the point is it's more like a token to cull the numbers back a bit. That's why we first did it. Because we were getting a lot of people that would join and there wasn't really... And then wouldn't do it, a bit like the Patreon situation. They joined the guild but wouldn't really contribute in the guild. So if you put that little barrier there and you say, look, are you really serious about joining? Can you help us with a thing? Like a giveaway or an event that we'll do? Which, by the way, the GMs are clearing the hall soon, and all the little cool things that people have built, they're going to give me video footage of, which I can use in the background on an upcoming video. And then the new hall that they build is going to be a new jumping puzzle of some sort, which should be good. And I'll try and get Boots together for that. I honestly haven't seen Boots for so fucking long, it's crazy. It feels like forever since a balance patch. Obviously, there's a really big one coming, so that's fine. And maybe it's just because January's felt so long to me. It's just been such a, you know, filled month. You know, a month that I might have spent in 2019 just doing some PvP queues and then a stream in the evening and that's it. That's very different to the January I just lived. Very different. Speaking of which, by the way, I haven't played at all this season and I do need to play for the llama. It ends on February 25th. That's fine. You might find eventually I do a stream where I try to get the Byzantium chest done. I don't know whether that's really doable in... It would be like a 12-hour stream or something, if that happened. But I don't know for sure right now. Looks like the rating's not very high on the front page. It's maybe about standard for where we are in the season. You might see that, I don't know. Right, let's go back to the wiki and see exactly what they want at Sparkfly. We're going south of Forvar's waypoint. I think Forvar is the little camp with the cool dialogue that they often don't. No, that's Braggy's stead. Forvar waypoint. Oh, this one here. Right, okay. Yeah, I don't know whether 12 hours is enough to get the Byzantium chest. Maybe if you're duo and you're winning like 75%, 80%. By the time I endeavor to do that, the new balance might have come out as well, which would be something to do, right? I'm not the kind of person that feels like you could get a grip on the balance in a single day, even if it was a 12-hour day. It's like a pathetically minuscule amount of time to really assess the meta. But it might be fun to do. So we just go south here. In fact, we can already see it. Any thoughts on the fact that the Gift of Ice is a collection reward? Not really. I haven't got it as a reward yet. Perhaps they'll use it for... I mean, I suppose there are some things to say. It's kind of like pushing people to get legendaries, even though they haven't added a new legendary, and it's themed for the release and stuff. You never know. Might be the kind of thing I can dedicate a bit of airtime to on the next Icebreed Saga video. Right. Just another rift. Northwest of Brackwater waypoint. Found that one very easily. Pretty much autopiloted it as well. Sorry, northwest, not northeast. There it is. Oh, yeah. Valen's right. Yeah, the season ends before balance. Yeah, because they did commit to not doing balance during the season. I'm sure that's like a CMC thing where it's like when he was actively playing the game, it was really annoying to have experiences like that. Like big balance. It was, and so he's like, nope, now I'm in control. We're not doing it. Not that I necessarily know if he's in control or whatever. Or even if they had seasons implemented as they currently do back when he was playing a lot. I really don't know. That's Sparkfly. Sparkfly was really easy. We go to Veer's Gate now and east of it in the plains of Ashford. I couldn't tell you where... Oh. It was the first guess. They need more law-related legendaries. Exordium was a mess. Yeah, I still don't really get the idea of Exordium. It's been interesting reading the Ghosts of Ascalon novel, knowing that the Claw of the Icana is now playable and wieldable. Very minor spoiler. This isn't a spoiler at all, actually. There's a scene in the book where someone's trying to use the Claw, and they're like really shit at it because it's like super unwieldy. And ArenaNet just kind of implemented it as a dagger in the end, and anyone that can use a dagger is quite proficient. So yeah, that would mean no balance for February, pretty much. By the way, can I just say, February has 29 days this year. So is that the day of the leap year? Is that the leap day? Is that what we're on at the moment? Because it's usually 28, right? This is like some high school fucking ignorance here. But it's a preschool ignorance. But we're totally in a leap year, are we? 2020? It's divisible by 4, so I'm assuming we are? That's why we get day 29? Yeah. Don't suppose any of you have known someone born on the 29th, do you? It's always an interesting one. Right. The other one in Plains of Ashford is southeast of Phasmatis. Phasmatis. Was it you or you? No? Speaking of which... Oh, there it is. Southeast. Literally in the novels areas right now. No, I didn't just find out about leap years. I just wanted to be precisely clear that it was the 29th, this upcoming month, that is the leap day. Someone you knew was disappointingly born on the 1st of March during a leap year. Get that whole extra day to be productive, guys. Southeast of the Phasmatis. So we went kind of southwest. Again, me making that subtle wrong movement because of the whole left thing. Because left in this case was east, not west. So my instinct was to go right. Even though it was wrong. Your uncle was born on the 29th. Nice. So what day does he choose to celebrate then? I'm presuming the 28th. Just because little kids would probably do that so they get their presents quicker. And then you do that as an adult going forwards, probably. I reckon I'd feel really special if I was born on the 29th. I'd probably like really clutch that. I'd be like, yeah, that's something cool about me. Special me. It's like the most meaningless thing, but if I know me, I'd be happy about that. Like earlier I was reading average height of people for various countries. And you know, 5'7" and 5'8" is like the vast majority of the fucking world for a male height across everywhere, right? There are some places that like you get quite short, like is it Nepal or something? It has like 5'3". Some places can get kind of short, but 5'7" is most of the planet. And I was like reading the table earlier, thinking, yeah, look at me, taller than all these average people. Like actually feeling smug. And I was thinking, my God, man, you need something better to cling to. Dude, I'm sucking at this. It's a good wiki page. I recommend you check it out. Confilled by country, sex, year that the survey was done. South of southeast. I'm just gonna literally make a beeline directly southeast. It has to be somewhere in this Maya, or I'm not being confident enough. I need to go a lot further. So here we go. I'm gonna call this southeast. I think it's a pretty good trajectory. But the thing is, it's the trees. I'm scared that it's like under the tree, I think. See it here. Maybe up on that rock. Maybe it's quite far. It's just that there's no other waypoints really nearby, so. Stop speaking Imperial, be sane and use metric. Look, they would totally have guided me to this one instead if it was all the way over here. Sorry, but, you know, the UK with this ugly mix. You know, we have, like, whole modules in maths class to learn what is Imperial and what is metric. And using one in one situation, one in the other. You know, I remember maths class, early maths class, teaching that information. I also remember it going in one ear and out the other, and it wasn't until a lot of life experience later that I started to, like, get a sense of the differences. Any Nords? Did you read Stop Speaking Imperial and think fucking Tamriel? Stop speaking Imperial. Because Imperial is a race, just for people. Dude, am I going to give up? This is actually kind of sad. Anyone got any advice for me on this one? You're pretty sure this one's meant to say northeast. When I did it was deep in the ruins of the wall. You can always check the wall. You can always check the map too. Oh, really? There's a slight error. Outrageous. Those fucking wiki contributors. What the fuck are they playing at? Sort it out. Alright, we'll go this way. It is my privilege to read that wiki. And you are denying me accurate information. Oh no, you were still on about height. Deep in the wall. What? Why wouldn't they take me to this one then? I don't understand. Look, it's the faux fire. This beam of light is described as being so thick and fierce and powerful in the novel. And in game, it's just so not. By the way, sky scale, I can fly down here now. This is fucking crazy. Dude, I've never been here. Are you serious? Whoa! I'm absolutely blown away. I didn't know this area existed of the world. Dude, this should be the Royal Treasury. There's sweet FA to do. And they didn't put any legendary collections down here. Yeah, I'm 100% confident that this was invisible barriered before. Maybe they removed these barriers when they removed the Black Citadel ones. Look, there's actual, like, detail and stuff. Wow. This would be a good place to do, like, a hide-and-go-seek challenge. Look, and with mounts, you can even, like, proper climb around and shit. It's quite incredible. If the Sky Scale Rift was here, that would be badass. As far as you know, there's a personal story step there. I'm not sure about that. If there is, then there's a whole tree that I've never done. Yeah, I definitely spent some time, especially when gliding came to the game. But they didn't remove a lot of those barriers with just gliding. Like the Black Citadel will still hold off. I guess with POF and the Griffin, maybe. I can't think of a reason why I would have come here. I'm going all over the place now. We're now northwest, and a significant amount more northwest. Like, why would you take me to the Phasmatis? Maybe it's under the bridge or something. Oh, that would have been cool, but no. Let me go right up over here and see. This lake, obviously, from the first Guild Wars 2 trailer. Showing what I thought was Naga, but ended up being Crate. Never mind, you checked the map, and it was southeast. Damn it. Alright, that's not my fault. So, I can probably... If it's definitely southeast, and they're not leading me to the Ogre waypoint, then it's got to be in this little bog here. It's got to be. There, it is. It is. It's under the fucking tree right there. Yeah, something about flying over these really threw me off. Alright, we have the buffs. Oh, I like it, though. I do like the experience of being so close to these branches. Brilliant. And we're off. Nice. That's our second one in Ascalon. Thanks for the tip there, Kato, as well. You wish we got more crate lore? Well, look, we just got a whale glider. It was a fucking Naga or whatever that was the Whisper of Jormag. Rewatch the original trailer. Honestly, I'm going to stop streaming in a second. Go back and rewatch the trailer of the Icebrood Saga announcement. It's really pretty. It's really way better than I remember it being, right? Go back and watch it, and they have those scenes in there with, like, Crate dying and destroyed ships and water. I'm sure we'll get that shit this season. I'm still 100% confident that the Deep Sea Dragon is going to be a thing this season. And we'll get more on the Crate and their profits and stuff. So, yeah. Any fans of The Who in chat? They just released their first album. The HU? Or The Who? The WHO, because I'm pretty sure that wouldn't be their first album. Knowing WP, I've probably been there before and said, well, this is incredible, and forgot about it. Maybe. Yeah, I did consider that. We got some Peaceful Char last season. How about some Warrior Quaggan this season? The Quaggan that lean into their lore of being raged and basically being the Hulk. Yeah, I'd like more of that, because the devs have shied away from that for ages. They were the only thing that rounded the Quaggan out, and we just don't see that side of them. So we'll see. That's it, though, guys. That's it. Thank you very much. Been a pretty self-indulgent stream, honestly. But yeah, keep an eye on my channel. Tomorrow, there will be a good channel update as we move into February. And I really hope you guys check it out. And I hope you enjoy the stuff that I'm going to be making for you in the days following. But before then, probably, I don't know. I'll be back, obviously, 24 hours from now. Same thing again. We'll probably get these finished around then. And we'll be back up to the new map, dealing with Jakar, the meta event, all that kind of stuff. It should be fun things. Thank you, everyone. Honestly, really appreciate it. The people who have been here and stayed in chat and used it a lot, it's very, very meaningful to me. The new glider is swimming in the air. It has to be a reused asset of underwater encounter. Maybe. I mean, I found, like, the seahorses on it interesting, and the Spirit of Whale. Like, come on, that's fucking... I really want to see the Norn interact with the Spirit of Whale. Or that to mean something in some kind of big underwater area. They've been pretty tight-lipped about the new map, haven't they? Visions of the past might teach us something, and then the next map's going to be a big underwater area or something. You know, some kind of island archipelago. What I would say as well... is this is still a great place for a map, ArenaNet. Come on, ArenaNet. By the way, you'll also notice, usually, for many years now, there's been some subtle change on the world map parchment that Shaman has caught, and it's tipped us off. Like the fact that we were going to Grothmar before we went to Grothmar. They've been very good about that. So we're actually in a really weird place again now, where it really feels like we could go anywhere. I mean, this saga still needs POF, right? It's still under the POF header. So let's go back. Think about it. Warm, tropical, beautiful suns after being in the cold, frigid north. Lots of water. You guys know it's right. Efficient, like, model and asset usage from the devs because they can tap back into the POF stuff, which hopefully people aren't going to be too sick of because it's been a while since we saw it. More of the fallout of this continent after Johto ended. It's a lot of good stuff. Yeah, they could do the rough seas like at Draconis Mons. They could do loads of things. An Azuric-style whirlpool or maelstrom. I want it ArenaNet. And while they're at it, they could expand the map south a little bit as well so that we're not hugging the border. That was a cool update. Remember, that came with Season 4. When POF came out, you could only scroll the map to about here. And then when Season 4 came out, they let you zoom out more and come all the way down here. Remember? When the POF first came out, this lake was not visible. It was like cut off like this. Well, maybe not like that because Vabi's there. But still. You couldn't get so far over, if I remember right. I might be remembering wrong. Maybe you always could when POF came out. But yeah, all right. Seriously, that's it, guys. Thanks very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll be back tomorrow. Thanks so much for the donation earlier and for the subs to those of you who did that. See you soon. Yeah, I want the Isner Isles. I want it bad, baby. Jerry, they're dead crate in the shot of the sinking ship. See you next time.